Evening, everybody. The good news on the 22nd of August at 8 o'clock is that I'm still alive. Despite all the dramas that have happened over the past 6 or 7 weeks, and due to the number of messages I was getting saying, well, can you please vlog to let us know how you are and how you sound, I'm back. I haven't vlogged for a long time, partly because life has massively got in the way of any spare time that I've had. I'm currently in Manchester, where I've relocated for my next property project, my next commercial development up here. So I'm in my apartment that's doubling up as my apartment and office at the moment until we get a more permanent base up here. But I wanted to send a huge message to all of the pure elite athletes, the professional and amateur athletes who have either met at previous competitions or who I've met and spoken to as they prep for October and April next year. All of you guys are amazing. The messages that you keep sending me in either comments to social media posts or in private or text messages have been very humbling and overwhelming and incredibly emotional. Pure Elite is without doubt a family, and you guys prove it not by what you do in public, but the fact that you have a generosity of spirit and the support that you provide privately is second to none. It's amazing. For those of you who don't know, I've had the worst 8 months that many people would have had. There are lots of people going through far more difficult times than me, but I thought that I would share what those times have been like and those challenges have been, to show that no matter what life throws at you, no matter what obstacles you find in your path, there is always a way over them, and there is always a way out. And there is always light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I started the year being the victim of a huge business fraud that wiped tens of thousands of pounds out of my account, which I'm still recovering from, which I still haven't resolved entirely yet, but we will get there. To having a major health scare myself, where I collapsed and spent 2 weeks in hospital, to the recent surgery that has completely gone wrong and has resulted in the fact that I've got a gaping wound on my head. And in case any of you are eating, I won't show you any photographs of the surgery that took place last night in Manchester under local anaesthetic, because it's still pretty disgusting, to be frank. But I am recovering. I am on the road to recovery. I returned to work today, less than 12 hours after having some minor surgery on my head. So I'm definitely doing okay. I will be returning to the gym tomorrow to start very light cardio. I've become quite fluffy and fat, and I'm not liking my appearance at the moment because I'm out of shape. So I'm getting back to help with my weight management, to do a little bit of 30 minutes of light cardio for the next few days. I've been assured I can return to the gym next week, which I'm very much looking forward to getting and restarting my preparation then for the Pro UK Championships next April with Pure Elite in Margate, and perhaps UK European Body Power, but we'll judge that nearer the time. Next year is my 40th birthday. Big things planned for next year. I'm hoping that my 7 years of constant drama and roller coaster experiences have now ended, and that there is a period of nothing but positive news and luck and good omens. I have a feeling that my life is not destined to pan out that way, which is fine, because I think the one common theme that I've discovered over all the obstacles I've overcome, be that the obesity, the suspected heart attacks, the spinal injury, the collapsing, the surgery, the business fraud, the family dramas, everything that's happened over the last 7 years, I've come out the other side a little bit more resilient, a little bit stronger, a little bit more determined, and I've still maintained my positive energy throughout. So it's really shown me that no matter what life throws at my path, I'm quite good at overcoming every obstacle. I'm definitely a glass half full kind of a guy. And whilst I do sometimes rant on social media, it's great therapy, to be honest. And those of you who think that it's not good are definitely missing a trick here. It's far cheaper than paying for a psychiatrist. Once it's out, and you certainly feel a lot better. It's quite cathartic, releasing. Talking about problems is definitely far better than keeping them to yourself. And of course, despite the fact that I post a lot on social media, it still only represents about 10% of my thoughts, feelings and actions. I'm exceptionally busy, and 90% of it is still very private. Most of you probably won't believe that, but it's true. The the last 6 or 7 weeks have been an absolute nightmare, to be honest. The collapsing and the surgery going wrong, combined with my grandmother going in for what was supposed to be a full hysterectomy, a fairly routine operation, turned into a disaster when she suffered a massive heart attack and unfortunately lost her fight for life on Saturday, to my sister having her own massive health dramas in Leeds just over a week ago. The fact that she's now recovering at home. To obviously the ongoing scenario with my gaping head wound. It has been an absolutely traumatic time, but somehow through the strength that the Pure Elite guys have been giving me, and my close friends Maria and my partner Sean, and of course my mum, have meant that I'm still pretty sane and I'm not locked in a padded cell somewhere. So really my message to all of you is I'm not going anywhere. I've taken a temporary break. It's a reluctant temporary break. I hate being out of the gym. If any of you have been following my journey for some time, you know that I love spending my time trying to improve and becoming a better version of myself. Even though I'm not in the gym, I'm still trying to go through that process and trying to deal with all of life's dramas. I will be back at the gym very soon. I will be even more determined. In fact, I am even more determined to do well next April. And even though the period of time we've got is constrained, there's still a significant amount of time to be able to make those changes. And the decision I made just after I collapsed was that I was going to change training direction a bit. Not for any other reason than I needed the assurance of having a sort of complete package, from posing to nutrition to training to mindfulness and awareness, and I get that through my coaches who are my friends as well, Lucy Walton and Tim Chase, through their Chase Perfection brand. So things are still looking quite positive. As I said, I'm not going anywhere. I will still be in October to cheer everybody on. I'll still be at the Masquerade Ball and the awards, and the outfit I've got planned for that is equally flamboyant and outlandish and loud and bright, and well, you'll see in October. But really I wanted to say thank you for all the messages from everyone. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for putting up with my rants. Thank you for putting up with my roller coaster of an existence. It is definitely going to make for an interesting chapter in my memoirs, which I will have to publish at some point in the next 30 or 40 years, if I get that far. Because nobody would actually believe it. Nobody would believe that all the things that have happened over the last 7 years have actually happened. And I've said in a post recently that if this script of my life was presented to the EastEnders producers and said, let's turn that into drama, they'd say, fuck off, it's far too dramatic, nobody'd believe it. But all those things have happened, as you've seen. As I say, I'm still here, still smiling, and still very much looking forward to the future. So thanks once again, have an amazing night, have an amazing week. And a final message to all of you who are intending to come to Manchester for the Pride weekend this weekend. Sean and I look forward to welcoming you and seeing you there. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.